My dear friends, this is your friend Krishna speaking to you. Do you know what's strange? You can have 200 people watching your stories, hundreds liking your posts, and still be sitting in your room at 2 a.m. waiting for one person's name to pop up on your screen. Maybe it's the person who used to text you good morning every single day. Maybe it's the one you thought would always be there until they weren't. They have moved on. Their feed is full of smiles, and you are here, scrolling, feeling like the whole world is connected except you. This isn't just a breakup problem, it's a connection problem. This feeling of being surrounded by noise but still feeling invisible isn't just about one person leaving your life. I see you there in the middle of group chats, scrolling endlessly, switching between apps, yet feeling like no one truly understands you. You have been told that being connected means having more followers, more likes, more group invites. And yes, technology makes it easy to reach people instantly. But here is the truth nobody says out loud. You can have 1,000 digital friends and still cry alone at night. You can keep expecting technology to cure your loneliness, but often it only deepens it. You can fill your day with virtual conversations, but still lie awake feeling unseen because what you're craving is not just attention, it's presence. Real connection doesn't happen in comments and emojis. It happens in the quiet, unplanned, honest moments you have been overlooking. It's when you notice the worry in your parents' eyes and ask them, "What's wrong?" instead of reaching out for your phone. It's when you choose to be honest with a friend about your fears and realize they have been carrying the same secret burden. It's when you volunteer to help someone else and end up finding that they give you more comfort than you ever expected. And yes, even in heartbreak, connection can grow. Losing someone, whether to a breakup, a fight, or simply drifting apart, leaves a space in your life. But that space doesn't have to stay empty. It can become a doorway to deeper, healthier bonds that you might never have found otherwise. Before we continue, I want to gently ask you something. Have you ever carried a question so heavy that it kept you up at night, or held onto a silent prayer that you didn't know where to send? If there is something on your heart right now, a worry, a hope, a dream, or even just a few words you wish Krishna could hear, this is your moment. Pause for a moment, take a deep breath, put your phone down, or open your notes app, or simply grab a piece of paper and start writing. Just let it flow. This is your personal space to speak to Krishna honestly, vulnerably, and without fear of judgment. Send it to modernaimystic@gmail.com. You can even send an audio message if that feels easier. Add your name if you'd like, or stay anonymous. Every letter that arrives will be held with care. We read each one with the same devotion you put into writing it. And together, we will send these intentions into the universe in our Saturday Letter to Krishna episode, along with our personal response. Because sometimes writing to Krishna is not about finding answers right away, it's about letting go, opening your heart, and remembering that you are never alone in this journey. Now, let me tell you an ancient story about the carpenter who built a bridge. Long ago, there were two brothers who lived on opposite sides of the river. They had a huge argument and stopped talking to each other. One day, the older brother hired a carpenter. He said, "I want you to build a tall fence here so I never have to see my brother again." The carpenter nodded. But when the brother returned in the evening, he was shocked. There was no fence. Instead, the carpenter had built a bridge across the river. Before the older brother could react, he saw his younger brother walking across it and saying, "After everything, I would still like to start over." They shook hands. Years of silence ended because one man decided to create connection instead of separation. Most loneliness isn't caused by others shutting us out, it's caused by the walls we have built ourselves. And sometimes all it takes is the courage to build a bridge instead of a wall. Now, here is what I want you to do this week. First, go beyond how are you. Pick one person you see regularly, a sibling, a college classmate, and ask, what's been the hardest part of your week? Then really listen without planning your reply or checking your phone. Secondly, do something offline with someone. Cook together, play a sport, paint, plant something, or even clean the house together. The activity doesn't matter as much as the time spent being present. Third, reopen the door. If there is someone you have drifted from but still think about, send a simple message like, "Hey, I was thinking of you." It doesn't have to be deep, just genuine. The world will keep telling you that connection should be instant and effortless. But the connections that will actually hold you in your most worst storms are the ones built slowly, with patience, trust, and the courage to be real. Stop settling for being connected. Start choosing to be seen. And remember, even in the moments when you feel most alone, I am here. Your Krishna, your friend, always walking beside you. Thank you for spending this sacred moment with us today. If something stirred in your heart while listening, if a memory came up, or a realization, or simply a wave of emotion, don't hold it back. Let it speak through you. Your letter to Krishna is more than just a message. It's energy, it's intention, it's a frequency that can ripple through your own life and touch others who may be feeling the same things but don't know how to express them. If you have been holding something in, this is your sign to let it out. Email your letter to Krishna to modernaimystic@gmail.com. You can also send text or audio files. Every Saturday, we will sit together in our next episode of Letter to Krishna and we will read your words aloud just as they are, from one soul to another. Some may be full of gratitude, some filled with pain, others filled with longing or love. But each one will be honored, respected, and shared with the same quiet devotion you wrote it with a heartfelt reply. Let's keep creating the space together, real, safe, soulful, and remember, Krishna is not far. He hears you even in the silence. Happy Janmashtami, Hari Krishna, and take care.